everybody. Welcome back to our interview series, Nick on Sleep. This year is about sleep and recovery, and I'm interviewing Nick Littlehales, the sleep coach of the top international sport athletes. Welcome back, Nick.
It's great to be with you again, Henry.
Thanks for having the time or taking the time to answer our customers' questions. So today we directly start with one of the big myth or widespread myth about your work. Is it really true that Cristiano Ronaldo only sleeps 90 minutes and this a couple of times a day?
I can't verify that, to be honest, Hanu. I have done some work in and around lots of clubs that Cristiano has played for. He certainly puts out in his social media a lot of the things that I've been developing, like 90-minute cycles and napping and everything else. You can quite clearly see if you look back in history that humans have actually only used a sleep-wake cycle that's 4 times a day, no long blocks. So, and certainly with certain people's schedules like Ronaldo's and lots of other people in elite sport and modern life, sleeping in these shorter periods can make a hell of a lot of sense. It's not for everybody, but if he's doing that, then maybe we should take note.
Yeah, but in principle, your coaching approach is that you say take a multiple of 1.5 hours on 90 minutes, and this is the perfect sleeping time. So we should rather sleep 7.5 hours than the 8 hours we always have been told, right?
Well, I think it's I get asked that question a lot. Because sometimes you have to maybe sleep 4 cycles in 6 hours, or even 3 cycles in 4.5 hours because of your schedule at night. But what we're doing is we're balancing that recovery with shorter periods, midday and early evening, and these little tiny breaks every 90 minutes. So when you actually look at it, we're actually getting more recovery in a 24-hour period. We're not just focusing it on one particular block at night. So the 7.5 hours is just because that's 5 90-minute cycles. It's just about, rather than thinking I've got to get all of my recovery at night, a lot of people who work lots of shift work, I'm doing a lot of work there, then they might do 2 days when they're on an early shift. They might have 2 days then on a late shift, and then they might have 2 days on a night shift. So they have to sleep at different points throughout that 24-hour process, not just nocturnally. So I think that's the understanding people want to take away from this. He's not trying to get all of this in just one block.
Yeah, got it. In your book, you even go one step ahead, and you say, well, this 90-minute cycles will also is also like a rhythm you should take over the day, and there is a pre-sleep phase. I would say, like warming up for your competition in sports. You should also warm yourself up for the sleeping phase, the pre-sleep phase, and there is also a post-sleep phase. What is it all about?
Well, I think the other 2 human health pillars, Hanu, eating and exercising, and then we've got sleep. And they've been looked at very intensely over the centuries, and we continue to do so, developing our knowledge about nutrition and exercise. When it comes to sleep, both of those activities are mental and physical activities. So you have to choose what you're going to eat and eat it. You have to choose what you're going to exercise and exercise. With sleep, your brain is in control. So you're not in control. So I'm not really that concerned about what happens when you're actually asleep, because the brain is in control of that. I'm more focused on what happens while you're awake. So when you wake up in the morning, your post-sleep period is your first 90 minutes of the day. And with a little better understanding, you realize that light exposure, hydrating, nutrition, bowel and bladder, mental challenges, a little bit of exercise is what you really focus on at the first part of your day. And then as the day unfolds, these little sort of distracted breaks, looking out of a window, just going fetching some water from the kitchen rather than having it on your desk at work, things like that, they all add up to helping the brain sort of prepare itself. Little breaks, midday, we know about naps, but a little short 30, 20, 15-minute vacant mind space just helps that whole process. early evening, the similar thing could happen. And we can do these things anywhere, Hannah, you know, on trains, metros, you know, in chairs, in our office. We can do it anywhere, just sat on a bench outside. So it's just that little bit of time. So when we get to the main sleep period, when you're putting blocks of 90 minutes back to back, is when you present yourself to sleep, you've been helping your brain all throughout the day, and your brain will give you the best quality recovery it possibly can, because you're now not in control of it. So I look at everything we do from the point of wake rather than focusing on what's actually happening while you're out of control.
Yeah, and that's very interesting. And again, that was very helpful. Thank you very much. And you also for providing us new keywords for the next episode, like napping, etc. So we certainly come back to that. Thanks again, Nick, and have a nice day.
All right, nap it out, Hannah.